doing a documentary, shining a light on the truth about my uncle.
About Michael?
About Michael.
Okay.
We are a family, a loving family, but no one sees. They only see headlines. If they say something about you, or if they say something about Uncle Michael, I get defensive about the legacy. But I'm scared I might do more damage than good by doing this.
It's not easy listening to the media, especially.
A new picture snapped at her grandson's music concert has given fans a rare look at Michael Jackson's mother, Katherine. She looked visibly fragile in the photo, yet loving family members stood close by her side, still caring for her every day. For fans who have followed Michael Jackson for decades, seeing this image stirred both warmth and deep emotion. It was a quiet reminder that the woman who once kept the entire Jackson family bonded together is now living through a calmer, far more private stage of life. In recent years, Katherine has mostly withdrawn from public life. Unlike other Jackson family members, she almost never sits for interviews or steps in front of cameras. People near the family say she would rather spend her days with her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren than attend public functions. Her journey has held incredible triumphs alongside crushing sorrow. She saw her sons rise into worldwide stars, watched the iconic Jackson 5 take off, and stood behind Michael Jackson as he carried the weight of extraordinary fame. Yet she also faced heartbreak beyond words when Michael passed away in 2009, and grief returned again with the loss of other family members in the years that followed. A major surprise happened when Katherine Jackson stepped out publicly for the premiere of the Michael biopic. Now 96 years old, she has kept herself largely out of the public eye, so any appearance she makes carries real weight. It was a touching moment, showing that even with her age and quieter lifestyle, she still stands as the heart of the Jackson family and keeps honoring Michael's memory whenever she gets the chance.
Celebrate the release of late son Michael's biopic. Coleman Domingo, who plays Katherine's late husband Joe on the screen, sharing the moment on Instagram, writing in his caption, "To receive her love and support is all I needed. Thank you to the family that showed up and loved on us and our work. We made her happy." Pairing the
Katherine Jackson's remarkable story starts well before the world ever heard the Jackson name. She was born Catherine Esther Screws on May 4, 1930, in the small town of Clayton, Alabama. Life brought hardship early on when she caught polio as a young child, leaving her with a limp that stayed with her for the rest of her life. At just 4 years old, her father changed the family surname from Screws to Screws, which is how she officially became Catherine Esther Screws. The family later settled in East Chicago, Indiana, where young Katherine went to Washington High School and grew to love music while playing as a member of the school band. Even back then, music was quietly shaping her world, though she had no idea it would one day become her family's defining legacy. In 1947, Katherine went to a party and met Joseph "Joe" Jackson, the man she would eventually marry. Once Joe's first marriage came to an end, the pair started dating and wed on November 5, 1949. Together, they bought a small house on Jackson Street in Gary, Indiana, and began building what would grow into one of the most famous families in all of entertainment history. Their marriage weathered plenty of hard times through the decades that followed. Katherine filed for divorce in 1973, but later pulled the petition back. She filed once more in 1982, only to withdraw it again shortly after. Joe's long affair and the daughter he had outside the marriage brought her deep and lasting pain. Still, the couple stayed legally married until Joe died of pancreatic cancer in 2018. After his passing, the Jackson family shared a heartfelt statement, saying, "We want to thank you all for the support you have shown us as we grieve for the patriarch of our family. We mourn the loss of our father and celebrate the life of a man who sacrificed so much to give us the life and success we have today. Thank you for respecting our privacy during this time." Together, Katherine and Joe raised 10 children between the years 1950 and 1966, including Rebby, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Latoya, Marlon, Michael, Randy, and Janet, while Marlon's twin brother Brandon sadly died shortly after being born. Though Joe became known for his strict discipline, Katherine brought the warmth and emotional support that kept the household balanced. Years afterward, in a rare interview given following Michael's death, Joe admitted to disciplining the kids. He avoided calling it beating, but he confessed that he whipped them. Katherine gently corrected him in that moment, saying, "You might as well admit it. That's the way Black people raise their children," and then added, "He used a strap." When Oprah Winfrey asked Joe whether he regretted his methods, he answered, "I don't. It kept them out of jail and kept them right." Katherine seldom discussed these painful moments publicly, yet she stayed the steady, quiet presence her children always leaned on. As her kids grew older, Katherine noticed that music ran naturally through the entire family. Joe pushed hard to build up their talent, but it was Katherine who quietly fed their confidence and their passion for performing. She pushed every one of her children towards music and stood firmly behind them as the Jackson 5 came together. Michael later revealed that although many people credited Joe with finding the group's talent, he personally felt his mother's role mattered just as much, if not more. In his book Moonwalk, he honored her endless love, writing, "Every child thinks their mother is the greatest mother in the world, but we Jacksons never lost that feeling. Because of Katherine's gentleness, warmth, and attention, I can't imagine what it's like to grow up without a mother's love. The lessons she taught us were invaluable. Kindness, love, and consideration for other people headed her list." Michael frequently called his mother the very foundation of his faith and character. Looking back on her strength while living with the effects of polio, he wrote, "My mother knew her polio was not a curse, but a test that God gave her to triumph over, and she instilled in me a love of him that I will always have." He also shared that Katherine helped him view his rare, extraordinary talent as something far bigger than fame itself. As he put it, "She taught me that my talent for singing and dancing was as much God's work as a beautiful sunset or storm that left snow for children to play in. These lessons never once left him." Michael also recalled TV legend Ed Sullivan telling him after a show, "Never forget where your talent came from, that your talent is a gift from God." Though grateful for the kind words, Michael later said they weren't really new to him, writing, "I was grateful for his kindness, but I could have told him that my mother had never let me forget." Katherine's influence went far beyond simply teaching values. Michael said it was also his mother who convinced Joe to let him join the Jackson 5 as a backup singer and bongo player, a choice that would forever change the course of music history. What started as one mother's gentle push eventually helped build the career of the man the entire world would come to know as the King of Pop. Yet to Katherine, Michael was never just a global superstar. He was her son first and foremost, and every triumph he reached stayed rooted in the love, faith, and guidance she gave him from the very start. Among the most touching moments is when Katherine Jackson offers heartfelt advice to her grandson, Taj Jackson, as he strives to keep the family's musical legacy alive. Drawing on decades spent raising one of entertainment's most famous families, Katherine urges Taj to stay true to himself, remain patient, and never forget the values that carried the Jackson family through both triumphs and hardship.
Damage than good by doing this.
It's not easy listening to the media, especially listen to lies. You have to remember one thing. People don't want to know the truth.
How do you rise above that?
I can't say I don't get angry, because I do.
I do too.
I
Only
get
human.
because I know it's not the truth.
Yeah.
But only thing I can do then is to pray about it.
This moment also shows the close, special connection between grandmother and grandson. Katherine's guidance goes beyond music alone. It touches on handling pressure, staying grounded, and remembering that success carries little weight without solid character behind it. For Taj, her words act as both a source of inspiration and a reminder of the responsibility tied to carrying the Jackson name. This heartfelt exchange gives viewers a rare look at Katherine Jackson in her role as the family matriarch, still guiding the next generation with the same love, patience, and quiet strength that helped shape one of music's most legendary families.
The strength that my mom had and the heart that my mom had, it's directly reflected in you.
Your mother, she wasn't like a daughter-in-law to me, she was like a daughter. I can't talk about her right now.
Okay, Graham.
Katherine Jackson has almost never spoken openly about the devastating loss of her son, Michael Jackson, which makes each interview or statement she offers all the more emotional. As the family's matriarch, she is usually chosen to mourn away from the public eye. But in the rare moment she has opened up about Michael's death, her words have given a deeply personal window into the pain her family still carries. Instead of dwelling on headlines, Katherine has described Michael as a loving son, a devoted father, and a caring person whose absence left a void nothing else could fill.
I think the family will get some peace, some rest, but they haven't sentenced Dr. Murray yet. And some of the family is saying no matter what he give him, it won't be enough, because at the most he can only get the maximum of 4 years. And I don't believe, well.
She has talked about how hard it was to accept his sudden death back in June 2009, calling it a tragedy that changed the Jackson family forever. Katherine has also opened up about the responsibility she took on in the aftermath, stepping in as guardian to Michael's children and making sure they stayed surrounded by family through one of the hardest chapters of their lives. Even amid such deep grief, she has continually stressed how important it is to protect Michael's legacy and the values he hoped to pass down to his kids.
Michael injected himself, or when they couldn't pass on that lie, then they tried to say that it was his fault, and they tried to say that he had something.
In her rare public remarks, Katherine has made one thing very clear. While the world knows Michael as the king of pop, she has always known him first and foremost as her own son. Her words continue to give fans a heartfelt, intimate window into one of music history's most tragic moments, showing the lasting love and strength that have defined the Jackson family across generations.